Good hello, welcome back to 1 Year's Skin. It's a new year and a new morning. This is a live session again, so if you're watching this later, well, compensating for that, more people rock up to the live thing. Picking up where I left off last time about a week and a half ago, which is a walk cycle of the onion inside of TVPaint. I'm trying to get my bearings, trying to remember where I left off. I didn't get very far last time, particularly because I have to draw very slowly in this program because my computer's very old. Also, that I keep getting distracted with conversations, which I'm, not really complaining about. That is fun to do, but I guess I should try and concentrate a little more. How do I? There was a way that moving these things is meant to influence all of the others, but it doesn't seem to be doing it today. Oh well, I'll do it manually. Just influencing some of them. Make everything a bit fainter, and get the brush. Man, I gotta remember how everything works. It hasn't been that long, has it? But it's all seeping out of my memory already. Apologies if you're here for the regular tutorial style. This isn't necessarily that. There will still be properly edited videos, hopefully most weeks. But I want to try and fill in the gaps with something that is still entertaining, but a little bit more free, and you can ask questions and we'll sort of do whatever. So definitely engage in the chat and say hello and what you've been working on. I always like hearing about other people's projects and things as well. Hello. This I got mainly only about 3 frames working down there, and then the next one goes across. However, I wanted to have this rotated across. I'm trying to remember how I did it. It needs to be set to cut, not copy. So when I select the whole thing, it'll remove it. And then I believe C on the keyboard will rotate it around like that, and then go boop. So it goes down, up. See that one? Oh no, hang on, that one's fine. Maybe I should rotate it across a little bit though. Rotate it around like this. There we go. So apologies if I'm a little bit low energy this morning as well. This is the first time having to get up at such a ludicrous hour this year. But commitment, new habits, routines, etc. Hopefully I don't come across as one of those ridiculous New Year's resolution people where it's like, oh, I'll do this for 1 or 2 days and then it'll quickly slacken off again. One excuse I have is that I have an audience, which means people notice if I stop doing it. Better than your own accountability, I suppose. Hello, people. You're here. I don't think there is a TVPaint 2. It's the 2nd episode, I think. So this is carrying on from last TVPaint. Yeah. TVPaint 12? No, this is TVPaint version 11. Is there a TVPaint 12? I probably should have just written part 2 in the title. But I intend for these to be fairly frequent, but brief. Just a bit of a warm-up in the mornings, and it's the only real opportunity I get to experiment and practice myself. I really want to make a habit out of that. And from what I'm hearing, people seem to be enjoying hanging out for it as well, because it's still fairly interactive, I suppose. There's opportunity to learn random junk. Maybe I can just use the same feet across it. So I erased the feet from the cycle because it was going to be a double thing. But maybe it works because it's pretty much just 2-dimensional. But I don't think I should. I think it should be like this one should have the foot, in the front like that. It should definitely be bigger. I really wish this series could be a little bit quicker, but you know, I'm probably not going to stop saying that. My computer's very old and doesn't really let me draw quickly. Even sketching like this is very slow and deliberate. So if I try and do it quickly, I don't know if you can see in the stream, but the actual stroke lags behind the cursor quite dramatically. But it's more reliant than Harmony 15, which is just so intense that I just cannot draw at all in the program. Yeah, so let's see, I'll put that for there. So we're going. I like how the timeline shows drawings, almost like the X sheet in Toons. Yes, I'm trying to remember if this has an X sheet in it. I don't think so. But you know, in other places we're starting to get thumbnails in the timeline as well. I'm not sure if it's possible to enlarge this. I assume it's possible. Is that a... No, let's just move the layers. There's got to be a switch somewhere that allows you to stretch and see them more largely, more clearly. But again, it is something that Harmony 15 is introduced as well. But I do wonder how, you know, RAM heavy is that to render every single frame. I can't imagine myself using it very often. So that has the feet there, but I really want to have them 1 foot up, like that. But is that going to look weird if it's like that for one state but not the other? Yes, it would. Because I am unpracticed at walk cycles, and hence why I'm trying to do it now. So all will be revealed as to my weaknesses. I just use MS Paint. Well, it still works, I suppose, and it's free and it's built in. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the stuff that you've done in done in MS Paint, though. I'm sure it can be very good if you know, push it to a certain degree. It is sometimes said that programs only really start to become useful when you start to break them and push them beyond their intended use. I really need to think about how large the steps should be. It's difficult. I'm still struggling to really work and talk at the same time. Whenever I go into concentration mode, things get really silent and dull and boring. If only I could link. Yes, it is a shame that YouTube chat doesn't really let you do that. If you do want to share stuff and you want me to watch it live and things, probably the best way to do it is via Twitter. In fact, I will open that feed on the side as well. So if there is anything that you want me to have a look at, and remember, I am happy to look at other people's animations, and we can talk about all of that. Yeah. Unpack it, and if you want critique, etc. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Just tweet it at me, and that'll be a thing. That can be a thing. Ah, good. All right. Notifications. Do I ever try to digitally paint on stream? I haven't yet. I'm definitely open to it though. It's more a case that I don't really stream that often. Okay, so this one should actually be the crossover. That was the piece of the puzzle I was missing. That will look like this. So the bob happens twice, but the feet loop only happens once. So if that goes up there, and then across. So what was happening on this one? Right, so it's when it's at its backmost point. So here, it should only be there, and here it should be there, I guess? Ah, man, I'm bad at this. This is meant to be the simple part, but I'm working so slowly. This one is the crossover. And that should lead back to that one. Okay, that's working. Now for in-betweens, there is a natural way to implement those, but trying to remember how to do it. There probably is a button somewhere that will cause this exposure to automatically increase everywhere. In fact, I should get out my little list of things to research and figure it out while I'm on the train and add it in next time. Hello, I heard you say TVPaint is free. I mean, I want to work in it, but it's not free for me. No, I don't think I ever said it's free. MS Paint is, because it's built in on things. Yeah, TVPaint should have a trial version, though, so you should be able to try it out. I bought TVPaint 1 month ago, and it feels much more natural to draw in than other programs like Flash and Tube. That's great. I'm glad it's working well for you, and nicer than it is on my old Steam-powered machine. Onionskin, why not just make an approved user? I'm only allowed to link and nothing else. So wait, an approved user, is that like a chat thing that I can do in here? Allow people to do different things? Since the TVPaint demo doesn't expire, you can use it forever. All you have to do is use the screen recorder since you can't save it. I guess? Still, try not to be dodgy. Hey guys, if you want a cheap TVPaint alternative, Krita is good. I haven't used Krita yet, but I've been hearing a lot of nice things about it lately. Definitely should give it a crack at some point. Where's my list? TVPaint research list. Wait, hang on, that's not our list. Where did I put the dang thing? Oh, right, it's divided by topic. It should just be a standardized list of things to look up. Okay. Automatically set things to twos. Right. Good morning, Animaflex Animations. Do you stop by often? I'm trying to remember. Apologies if I'm bad at remembering names. But I do appreciate everyone's company, that's for sure. What are we at? 32. That's a pretty nice number. Definitely on the higher end. I'm happy with that. Maybe it's the time of day, more appropriate. Well, I'm guessing it's a good time in the US, perhaps. Or maybe I just need to get in the bloody habit of doing these more regularly. Oh, scrolly bar. Damn it. Why? There must be a more convenient way to do this. Computer kept crashing on me. Guys, I want to learn. What should I learn first? TVPaint or storyboard? Well, it depends on what you want to do. You want to do storyboarding or animation? Finally caught the stream live. Didn't last time. Ah, well, I'm glad you're here. Nearly 2 p.m. A good time. Well, that's good. 10 to 6 in the morning here. Okay, so I'm guessing, like, one way I can do this is to go through each of these double exposures and just hit backspace, and then I'll end up with a blank frame. That'll do. I can in between that. I think I've doubled my workload though, because I'm, you know, the whole bobbing thing happens twice. Wait. Oh, I've expanded more than I needed to. The whole bobbing thing happens twice, and then, you know, I've doubled the exposure for it twice. So I'm probably just going to have to I think I will just swallow it and draw it twice. I don't really care. Because I probably need the practice. And it won't take very long because it is just very sketchy. I have a lot of studying to do, but this is the first time joining a live stream. I'm going to watch it while studying. Yeah, you can multitask. That's what streams are all about. You know, they're kind of a low commitment thing. Multitask to it. Do the dishes or something. It's so. This is going to be really difficult when it comes to actually doing the the cleanup for it, because of just how unreliable the drawing is on this machine, and I must be driving people bonkers saying that already, because it's just happening so bloody much. But I'm going to keep reminding. I think I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again, because I'm sure people are constantly cycling in and out. And anyone new who's seeing me draw at this pace for the first time is going to probably get pretty frustrated. But I can't keep this up. I'm going to have to think of a solution to make things a bit quicker, because this is not okay for people watching. But how are people's Christmases and New Year's? Tell me about that. I want to hear some stories. Some crazy things must have happened. I'm sure more than a few of you would have gone away for a bit. I want to take your opinion on... Wait, hang on. I want to take your opinion on my animations. I'm 16 years old. Check my channel to show my demo reel. Alright. Why not? Let's look at a demo reel. I'm going to Google your username. Hopefully that'll take me to your channel. Okay, I think it's working. It's taking a little while to load though. Alright, there is a 2017 demo reel on the front. Gonna have a look at that. And we also have a Twitter status as well, so we've got a couple of things to watch, which shall be fun. I'll try and do one more in between before we do that. Oh man, this is so difficult. Alright, that's starting to load up. The quality is terrible because the internet in Australia doesn't like to upload and download simultaneously. So I'll just let that do its thing for a little bit. Just get one more of these in. Oh man. Maybe I'll have to do the cleanup off stream. Perhaps maybe the older versions will let me draw a bit quicker. I'll have to ask TVPaint themselves if anything is going on that they think could be causing this, because I don't think I can keep it up. Yeah. Wait, hang on. I've got two of those on. I don't need two of either side on. There we go. Alright. Real time. I got pants for Christmas. Okay. I make all the dinner for Christmas. My back still hurts. How much time went into the preparation? If you hover the name three dots, appear, click the dots, then go to channel. Well, it doesn't matter. I just Googled for it and I'm already there. Have you considered doing any more work in OpenToonz or Toons? Yeah, of course, but OpenToonz doesn't work well on Mac. I mean, you see how much TVPaint's struggling to get by. It may be time to consider upgrading my machine soon. Everything else works fine except for the animation programs, though. Alright, so, hang on. The quality of this is not great. I want to up it so we can watch it with a bit more clarity. And whose was this again? I've scrolled too far. I'm going to put it back over here. I'm going to do one more in between while I wait for it to reload, and also to reread your name again so everybody knows what we're watching, especially if they're watching this later after the stream. Maybe it has to do with your computer's memory. I think I've got gigs of RAM in this, which I know is not exactly optimal for this day and age. But it certainly lasted for a while. I think it's more to do with processors, though. But I believe it might be time to go back to a PC. I got a cuckoo clock for Christmas. Looks like it'll be my next pet project. Pet project? What do you mean? What are you going to do with it? I got a new drawing tablet for Christmas. Ah, awesome. Because the other one broke, and now I have to wait till the 14th for the new one. So you haven't received the one that you've gotten yet? What kind did you get? Thank you. You introduced me to Tomb Raider a while back. Ah, awesome. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm the OpenToonz developer you talked to last year. Ah, yes, I remember our conversations. Golly, that was a while ago now, wasn't it? Sorry, the time really gets away. It's been the same thing with TVPaint because they've been wanting me to do videos for quite some time. And before I know it, months and months have passed. So finding the time for everybody in a balanced way is tricky. But I think I remember saying to you back then that, let me know when OpenToonz is running reliably on a Mac, and then for sure I'd love to leap on it. Oh dear. Getting quality issue reports. Apparently the stream's starting to break. Hopefully it's not because I've been downloading stuff. But we should watch this reel anyway, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm not sure what opinions you want from me, though. Primarily, you did say that you're 16, though, so already the fact that you have a reel at all is good. And there's quite a lot of range going on here, too. Compositing between base walk cycles. It looks like this is like client work as well, so you've been working. That's awesome, man. The fact that you found jobs already. I'm impressed. That one's good. That one in particular. Even though I know a lot of them have a similar approach where you've got rigged characters, particularly the sliding faces. So you're able to get a bit of depth on them and things like that. Oh, that's good. I liked on that Steven how the face would sort of bleed off the side a little bit so you could get it a little bit more round as well. But I want to have a closer look at this one, because that's got all the same things going on, but the entire body has some squash and stretch applied to it as well. So not only have you got the normally rigged face, but the entire face and head is squash and stretching and warping as well. That must have taken a while. Yeah, I'm not sure if you were after critique or wanted me to kind of tear anything apart or look for things to improve on, because you're certainly well on your way. You can almost, you can see where you've improved over time as well. Like ones like this bird has a lot more effort into the actual drawing, but the movement's a bit more stiff where it sort of just stops there. But you can see on other animations they've got a bit more follow through and bounce back, and like that one, the head moves, has some flip to it, and the hair's always kind of got a bit of follow through. So you know, I think anything that I'd kind of have to say, you've already got a bit of a grasp on it. You know, as you continue to practice, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, I suppose. And it is inspiring and terrifying that people at 16 are pulling stuff like this off. And it means that anyone older cannot afford to stop learning because people are just going to appear and wipe the floor with this soon. So... Stream crashes right when I join. Hopefully it's back working again. It says it's on orange level on my end, which means it should be working, but the quality is probably bad. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. The new version is much better on Mac. It came out in December. Excellent. That's very exciting. I'm going to write that down on my list as well. Get the new OpenTunes. I'll muck around with that. So I still want to do some more with the paid version of Tunes as well. Do you know many people that use it, or sorry, this is a question primarily for Jeremy Bollock if you're still watching. Between OpenTunes and Tunes Premium, because I want to do more with the premium version as well, but I also hear that OpenTunes has developed so much to the point that it has probably more features now. It's kind of ironic considering it's the free one. So to which people would you recommend the paid version? And for what purpose? OpenTunes crashed this morning and I lost all my project. Don't forget to save. Tell me of me. Life lesson. But I guess it is concerning that the project was lost. So I guess in that program, is it commonplace that you need to have a habit of doing save as and keeping multiple copies of it? Yeah, you did it. Is that in reply to just, hey, the stream is working again? Because I didn't do anything. I was hoping that doing it this early in the morning would make it just more reliable across the board, because I wouldn't think too many other people are using the internet and there wouldn't be much, competition for it. I guess it's just bad all the time anyway. Thanks a lot to see my demo reel. I'm waiting your opinion. Yeah. Hopefully what I said was helpful, or just receiving a lot of compliments will give you a nice ego boost to keep doing it. What's the best animation I've ever seen? Good question. And there's probably a few different answers to that, because you could say it's like, something that just has a lot of technical prowess into it, like your typical Disney or whatever. Or it could be something relative. Like the best animation I've ever seen could be something that may not be the most impressive thing ever, but relative to someone who has just recently started learning and just knocked it out of the park. I consider that to be just as impressive. Probably Klaus, if I was to give a fairly objective one. Is that upcoming film that's been in the works for, forever because of just how intense it is. If you haven't seen anything for it, type it in. I think it's Klaus. And it's, it's a 2D feature. The first of its sort of quality in a very long time. I don't think anything like it's really been done before. Its compositing and lighting is, in particular, very impressive, and I think that's what blows most people away. Is how the characters sort of lit up from behind, and the environmental lighting is just nuts. Fiddling my MS Paint animation with spaces. Just copy and paste, remove spaces. Oh wow, so you got you've been animating in MS Paint? Can it do that? I don't know, it could do that. Alright, I'm putting it in with spaces. We'll have a quick look at that. I really want to finish doing these in-betweens before I gotta go, which is only about 10 minutes away. Apologies that these streams are short, but I do intend for them to be frequent. They are, just a bit of a wake-up thing. I have a bit of practice and experimentation in the morning, and I'm very privileged that I get to share that with people. Okay, link is in, but page isn't working. Now, did you send it, like that tweet that you did you just send it to my page? Because that's the best way to do it. Because I can just watch it this way rather than trying to do the whole backspace out of spaces inside of a link. I also want to mess with Moho. Yeah, I really want to do Moho. I think one of the developers sometimes stops by here. So if I can organize something with them, that would be really good. Okay. This is quite nice. So you're saying this is the only animation you've done. In that case, I think it's nice because you've mainly been concentrating on lighting. But still, it'd be good to see something if you want to continue practicing with a bit more motion, because I do understand that this is just primarily a 2-frame loop. So with sending things and stuff like that, if you're wanting more critique on technique and things like that, unfortunately I won't necessarily be paying attention to them so much in regards to story or getting a joke across. It is an animation channel after all, so I tend to really gravitate towards your approach to things. If you're wanting to practice, and if there's any way I can help out with your practice, then that's something I enjoy a lot. Okay, any critiques on this animation acting I did a while back? It can be found on Vimeo number thingy thing. Alright. I'm going to quickly fall into the habit of just watching people's stuff, aren't I? Slash that. Alright, I'm going to let that load up as well. I need to keep putting more in-betweens in because everyone is just going to be set watching a blank screen, which is very dull. Hopefully all the stupid words coming out of my face is sufficient enough. But I'm assuming you're all multitasking at the same time. The kind of thing to have on while doing a bit of a drawing, or like I say, getting the dishes done. Something else in your life. It'll keep you motivated to get something else done. You see what's happening here? You see, like, as I'm doing these strokes, it's just stop leaving gaps. Stupid little bits all the time. Damn. That toe is trash. I'll have to try doing the cleanup off stream and see if that is more reliant. That or get a different version. Surely an older version of the program on an older machine is going to work more smoothly. I don't need to use any of the super advanced features that are in TVPaint 11 just yet, because I'm still learning myself. So I'll probably upgrade back to this version again once I've really got a good handle on it. I went and coloured in the tongue on that frame. I'm dense, aren't I? Okay, 24 second piece. I rewind it, it starts loading again, lovely. It can wait then. Tweeted you, the only animation I have to you, critique would be helpful. Is that the one we just watched before? I'll refresh the page and see. I love your super casual streams. Oh, that's good. Sometimes I do worry that they can be a bit dull or uneventful, particularly for those who come and watch them after it's not live anymore. But like I say, if there's something that's just sort of easy to have sitting in the background, then yeah, that's good. I'm glad they serve a purpose. Moho is a vector animation software best in moving rigs, but is not good for a quality outcome most of the time. I don't know, you can get some pretty nice stuff with Moho. I'm not sure if I've seen many full television productions out of it, but I reckon it's definitely possible. You can get rigged animation out of it very quickly, it seems. Moho is a bit terrible for frame-by-frame animation for me. Is that terrible? Sorry, is that true? I know that it's sort of based on its individual vector points, but again, I haven't really used it properly. Oh geez, how far away have I scrolled from the bottom of the page? All right, I got to do some reading. Sorry, 1 second. TVPaint is consistent and doesn't crash every 10 minutes. Well, it certainly doesn't crash, but yeah, it's still very slow for me, unfortunately. Moho is awesome for bone animation, but I can't stand the drawing tools. Yeah, I think it's more for construction rather than actually just sort of doodling. And short stream greater than no stream. Hey, sweet. But again, short streams will be more frequent. I don't think you'd be too bothered if these were appearing most days, would you? That's the end goal, at least. We'll see if it happens most every day, but I don't want to promise it yet while I'm not in the habit. I do frame by frame, but I hear Moho will be just a paint to work in exactly why I left, tried Flash and Toon Boom, then stuck with TVPaint. Yeah, so that's a very good point, Caroline was. I think it does just come down to personal preference. Some people are all about rigging, some people are all about frame by frame. And there's programs that are catered to both. Cell Action is another very great option if you want to be just on the rig animation side, because its tweening is completely unmatched. And then Harmony is the sort of Swiss Army knife program, and that's why I think I personally gravitate towards that program the most, because I really like a hybrid approach, a balance between frame by frame and rig based. I'll try and just cut down on the amount of drawings I need to do and sort of tween them together a lot of the time. And I find that Harmony is probably the nicest at doing exactly that. Depends on the production. The other reason why I like that one in particular is because it's very flexible for different productions. And I'm kind of just talking about little quick personal things there rather than, film. TVPaint is consistent. Don't crash over 10 minutes. I already read that. Why am I reading it again? Jeremy, I wanted to ask, this is a comment from New Game Exposed. I wanted to ask, has the drawing issue been fully fixed in OpenToon's Mac? Apparently, it's a lot better now. I'm currently messing around with the poser bones, doing a character. If only I could manage and select the polygons and not forget one constantly. Which program are you talking about, Bro Man Naruto? And the class trailer looks really cool. I wonder how much of a mix they had of 2D and 3D elements. I'm not sure. I'd really like to think that it is exclusively 2D. But it does look like, like the door opening is 3D unless they just concentrated really hard. Animate on my little iPad. What program do you use on it? I'd be interested to see what animation softwares exist on iPad that are somewhat reliable. I'm somewhat irritated by them because they all seem to want to imitate real life. It's like, here's a pen. Here's a ballpoint. Here's a ink, like a fountain pen. And you can't even really change their thicknesses because, you can't change the thickness of a real pen. I don't know if they try and sell other thicknesses with microtransactions, but I wouldn't be surprised and I would be outraged. Still has some issues that needs to be... OpenToon still has some issues that needs to be tweaked, but he's getting there. That's great to hear. I can't wait to try it out. Who's better, Toon Boom Harmony or TVPaint? I don't think it's a matter of objectively better. It is a subjectional taste. I like to show them all off because I think there's a lot of people that don't know what is best for them yet because they haven't been exposed to all the different programs and are probably using something that they personally may not be happy with. And upon seeing it and trying out other things, are more likely to find something they're more at home with. Particularly someone that, would maybe came from a traditional background and would be right at home using TVPaint have probably been stuck using Flash all this time and just, hating it and not really thought there was even an alternative at all because they have such a monopoly. Well, at least amongst the independent market, TVPaint really seems to have a monopoly amongst the film and TV now. But anyway, I'm animating a longer thing now. Yeah, it's only 2 stills. I wish I had more. Well, Aaron Jaws, I'll be here. Let me know when you finish it. I would like to play it here and see, see how you continue to improve. Watching people's journeys is one of the most exciting parts of all of this. Personally, I like TVPaint much more. Yes, saw a video up there before. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the things that you've done, Caroline. I think the people that use TVPaint make some really, really cool stuff with it, and I want to get inspired to use it more and push my own abilities in it. TVPaint has this thing where you can render your final video, it can crash. I've not really had that happen to me very much. I think it depends more on the sort of machine that you use. Sometimes just luck of the draw. I've seen people that use the exact same type of computer and have very different results performance-wise. Alright, where are we up to? What tablet do I use? I used to draw with a mouse, and I got pretty good with it, but recently got a tablet. I'm glad you finally got a tablet, AR Gaming, so you don't completely destroy your wrist. TVPaint is more traditional and has the best brushes. I completely agree. I would say quite objectively it has the best brushes. RGB says, but Flash sucks. I think more and more people on, in the community of this channel are starting to feel that way. Maybe more people at the whole, I don't know, but I do know that when I first started this channel, I was met with a lot of resistance when I first provided any alternative to Flash at all. It is what people are used to, and people usually fear change, which I can, respect. I really like TVPaint for its straight from storyboard to animatic to animation, all in one software. I agree, and I haven't been able to show off that feature yet, and I can't wait to do it. So stay tuned for that. I'm working in Anime Studio Pro. It's awesome at rigging, but not frame by frame. So Anime Studio Pro is also Moho, for those that don't know. Flash is easy to learn and use, but it has a problem with crashing and file corruption. I'm not sure if it really is that easy to use. We may feel that way because it was the first one that a lot of us picked up, but a lot of its methods are really kind of weird. And if you're using a program for the first time, I'm not sure why someone would think that it is, the way things should be. Like not being able to have more than one symbol to tween on a layer. That's a common mistake that people would make, right? We can talk more about that later. Alright, what tablet do I use? I used to draw with mouse. I already read that one. How far up did I go? Keep it up, AR Gaming. You'll get used to a tablet in no time. Drawing a day will help. I agree. Try and keep it up. We'll all be watching. Come back and tell us your progress. I'll be interested to see it at least. The program I was talking about was Poser 11. It's a 3D animation program. I've never heard of it. Poser 11? Tell me more. I always like hearing about software that I've never heard of before. It's always very exciting when you're like, oh, I'm starting to get an idea on what's out there. And you're like, what's this? All right, I'm going to type in Poser 11 as another thing to look up later. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow if I'm able to be consistent enough to do it more than one day. This way, I switched to Toon Boom Harmony. Oh, cool. Can I make a cutout tutorial? Yes, I can, but will I and when I can't say. I want to pick up my output, but I haven't put my order in stone yet. I use Animation Desk on my iPad, but I usually use OpenToonz to animate with my tablet. So you use the tablet as a second monitor, I guess. I'm doing some animation tutorials on my channel if someone is interested. Cool, I wouldn't mind checking it out. I wasn't ready for the stream, but I'm still in school right now. Well, you still came by anyway. That's the important thing. A guy I work with in animation keeps telling me to post tips and tutorials for drawing technique and software. Why not? If a colleague is getting, inspired by what you're doing and you're able to share some things that not many people out there are already saying, then, do it. Show me a link. I wouldn't mind checking it out. Okay, Photoshop is real powerhouse with animation now. Is it though? Is it really? I don't know if I can agree with that. I did one animation in Photoshop. It was back in 2012, but it was the worst. It took so long. It was like a second and a half, and it took me nearly 2 weeks. It was ridiculous. Maybe I'm just the worst. Alright, okay. I use Animate CC. I haven't had too much issue with it, but I only use it when it's the one that came with Photoshop and it works well with it. Right. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people do still stick with Flash, is because it is part of the Adobe package. I mean, how can anyone compete with that? So many programs for such price. I'm now training in Zoom. Cool. Ouch. I hurt myself. The tool is only as powerful as the animator. Ah, good point. We haven't had that mentioned yet. And you're absolutely right. Again, the programs become more useful when you figure out how to break them. And, you know, when it comes right down to it, how incredible animations have we seen with people simply using a piece of paper and a pencil? So, yeah, it shouldn't really matter all that much. But when you, yeah, timeline and a brush, it's all you really, really need. Poser has some impressive works done in it, but if you're crap, it's all on you. Yeah, true that. Ever considered doing a read between the frames for Family Guy, comparing old episodes to new episodes? I certainly have. There is things to talk about with Family Guy, but it doesn't really go much beyond the fact that it's just pose to pose and there's like 3 frames, one in between. And I think there's... Who did it? Was it Oni? Just a quick cartoon. Sorry, just a quick analysis, just zooming in on every movement, pointing out how minimal it was. And seeing as that I've done a couple of before and afters on The Simpsons, I feel like I'd probably be retreading new ground. But there is one more that I'd really like to do with The Simpsons in future about the evolution of its style over the seasons. But it's on the shelf for a little while. I'll come back to it one day, but it's low priority. Film Blender, way too overcomplicated. What's behind this tab? Another tab. What's behind this tab? Another tab. It's the worst for a non-native English speaker, to be honest. I just use Poser for animation. So wait, Poser and Blender, do they have something to do with each other? I watched the animation made with Poser. It was so discouraging. Discouraging? Yeah, link it. Alright, call back to post-it animations with Superman vs. Goku. Hey, but wait, is that the one that I did? A little Superman vs. Goku animation that's like 2 frames long. Family Guy animation is simple. They focus more on acting. Occasionally they do some interesting animation, but it's rare. Well, I don't even know if I'd agree with that. They focus on acting. Because as far as, you know, acting is movement, body language, expression. But there's none of that either. They focus on dialogue. It's almost at the point where it could just be like a podcast and would be pretty much unchanged. So check your Twitter. All right, I'll quickly do that and then I'll call it for the day because I'm already running over time. Where did I put it? I must be Xing out of the window whenever I close it. Man, I miss exaggerated animation on TV these days. It is mostly dialogue based. Yeah, it's true. It is mostly that for, you know, budgetary and scheduling reasons. So I do understand it, and I have, you know, been there having to help make that happen a few times, which is a shame. But there is a place for more exaggerated, stretchy stuff. Actually, there is a thing happening at the studio I work at right now, which is a lot more very expressive and full on, but it does take advantage of, you know, modern digital techniques as well. So it is able to be super expressive acting wise, but still not be absurdly expensive. So I guess I'll tell you when I can reveal more. Alright, this is the final post regarding the current test of my bouncy ball. Okay, so this is from Mary Burger. It's 19 seconds long and it's very compressed because my internet's terrible. Okay, so bouncing ball test. So Oh, I guess that's all we're watching. It's just a standard bouncy ball. Cool. Did you want me to critique it? I don't really have too much to say. It's just a bouncy ball test. This is like writing a Hello World program. It's kind of the first thing that you do. I see that you're using timing charts, though. That's nice. You got all the basic principles in there. There isn't really too much for me to say other than keep going. You know, it's a good place to start. Like I say, the Hello World program. I recommend everyone do the bouncing ball stuff. Maybe from here, try one that has momentum. But if you're doing it digitally, all you have to do is apply it in, an x-axis tween. But it can help you with weight, perhaps. Like if you do a bouncing ball heading from left to right across the screen and try imagining them that they're made out of different materials, like a ping pong ball or a bowling ball or a tennis ball, things like that. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. This is the one that was done in MS Paint. Sorry. I neglected to acknowledge that. I feel like that should be written down somewhere. So does that mean MS Paint has a timeline now? Like, how's that possible? Did you just draw in individual programs and then, GIF it together or something like that? Ever see Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog? The animation and character art have bad timing and go off model, but in a very charming and surprisingly expressive way. Is that the 2D one from back in the day? I did Squash and Stretch. It might be the low frame rate skipping those frames. Oh no, it's looking fine on my end. It's called animation film made with Poser. Exaggerate the Squash and Stretch a bit more. Yeah, I'd agree to that. No harm in exaggerating a bit more. I used Movie Maker to put the frames together. So does that mean there was no onion skinning at all? You just simply used the timing chart on the side, copied that across a whole bunch of different MS Paint files, and drew the ball blind. Damn. That means there was no way of doing, flipping or anything. It's pretty impressive, yo. So, good luck in your practice. All right. My time's up. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Hopefully, same time tomorrow. Yeah? I'm going to announce that as a bit of accountability, so if I miss it, I can get lots of angry tweets from people, and then I'll get up early. But thanks, everyone. It's been fun. A great way to wake up in the morning, getting to hang out with 42 people and probably draw like 3 frames, because let's face it, I didn't do a whole lot. But hey, that's what practice is all about. I can practice multitasking, talking and drawing at the same time on a piece of software that is kind of slow for me to draw on. But thanks again. I'll see you later. Goodbye.